In this video, I'm going to share the exact 7-day itinerary we used in Spain. 5 locations, 26 attractions, hotels, and strategic day trips. But it's not perfect, so I'll share the changes we'd make if we did it again too. Alright, so day 1, after arriving in Madrid, we flew straight to Malaga and stayed for a couple nights. So our first stop was the Malaga harbor. It was an easy stroll for us through the Malaga park. The harbor has an interesting vibe. On one side you have the luxury yachts and restaurants, but on the other side, you have industrial cranes and a cement plant spewing dust. It's definitely a weird contrast, but it was fun to walk around and there's plenty of places to eat. I especially liked the sunset lighting up the coast from the Malagueta Beach. It was beautiful. After flying for 2 days straight, that's all we could muster on day 1. On day 2, we started at the Atarazanas Market. It's got a marble arch at the entrance, which is a surviving piece of the 14th century Moorish shipyard that it used to be, and the rest was built in the 1800s. The market is one of Malaga's gems. It's fresh, it's vibrant, and it's actually local. After that, we went to the Gibralfaro Castle. It's a 14th century Moorish fortress that once protected the palace below. And here's a quick tip. Take the bus instead of climbing the hill if you want to avoid being a sweaty mess. The inner buildings of the castle are in ruins, but the outer walls and towers are still intact and they're super fun to explore. And the views sweep across the city. I feel like the vantage point alone was worth it to visit the castle. When we were done with the castle, we hustled down the hill to combo the Alcazaba with the Roman theater. The Alcazaba is a perfectly preserved 11th century Moorish palace. We sped through it trying to beat the closing time of the Roman theater, but guess what? You can see the amphitheater perfectly from the street, for free, anytime. And it's a better vantage point too. I wish I would have known that, but at least you know it now if you decide to go check it out. Afterwards, we spent the night wandering the historical district, which showed us the other side of Malaga. There was lots of restaurants with tourist menus, there's chain bars, and a ton of those tacky souvenir shops. And I get it, plenty of cities have zones like this, but we prefer authentic places that still retain the Spanish charm that we crave. The bottom line is, we liked Malaga's highlights: the market, the fortress, the Alcazaba, and the Roman theater. And if you have more time, I would totally check out the Mosque-Cathedral. Alright, day 3. So we checked out of the hotel and took a train to Ronda and put our luggage in storage lockers. And a heads up, the train station doesn't have any lockers, but the bus station up the street does. Also, it only takes coins. Ronda is a quaint town. Much of it is pretty quiet, while some of the streets are pretty busy. But the big reason tourists come to Ronda is Puente Nuevo, also known as the New Bridge. It was built in the 1700s over a deep gorge and it took over 34 years to complete. It's a jaw-dropper, carved right into the cliffs. The view from the north side is pretty nice, but the southeast overlook is a poster shot. When descending toward the canyon, we found charming, sun-faded corners that made Ronda so irresistible. It's cracked stone, peeling paint, and it was just somehow perfect. We passed through the Arco de Felipe. It was built in 1742 as the main entrance to Ronda. And about 100 yards away is the 13th century Moorish bathhouse. The vaults and the old water channels are still visible. And from that spot, you can actually see the Puente San Miguel, which was built in the 11th century, and the Puente Viejo, which was built in the 17th century. From there, we climbed up the other side of the canyon to get a perfect view of Puente Nuevo from across the canyon. There's also a trail on the east side with a waterfall view. We ran out of time, so we weren't able to do it. Generally, we took things slow, but if we wanted to see it all, this is how I would do it. If we had more time, I would have started with one of Spain's oldest bull rings, built in 1785. Then take in the views of Puente Nuevo. Then I'd walk through historic Ronda all the way to the 13th century stone entrance to Ronda. From there, I would traverse the ancient wall surrounding Malaga for the views and to see then the bathhouse, Puente San Miguel, Arco de Felipe, Puente Viejo, the east viewpoint, and then tapas. After Ronda, we got our luggage and we jumped on a train to Cordoba. And we just dropped off our luggage and went and checked out the Roman bridge. And then after that, we went and scouted out the Alley of Flowers for morning pictures. And then it was bedtime because we were beat. At sunrise, we returned back to the Alley of Flowers. And the alley is super picturesque and it frames the bell tower perfectly. It's really gorgeous, poster shots. From the Alley of Flowers, we walked to the Alcazar. And just a quick heads up, I'll be putting the official names of these places in the video so it's easier for you to look them up. So the Alcazar is a 14th century fortress, and it sits on Roman foundations and it has layers of the Islamic period as well, but most of that was destroyed after the Christian conquest. At one time, the Alcazar was the seat of the brutal Spanish Inquisition. But on a lighter note, the Alcazar has what is arguably the most beautiful gardens in Cordoba. And these gardens are especially popular with Instagrammers getting that perfect Instagram shot. The Roman Bridge, the Alley of Flowers, and the Alcazar are definitely all worth a visit, but the Mosque-Cathedral is an absolute must when visiting Cordoba. It's one of the most unique places on the planet. It's the only place where Islam and Christianity visibly coexist to such a degree. After the Mosque-Cathedral, we grabbed our luggage from the hotel and then jumped on a train to Sevilla. Once we arrived in Sevilla, we basically just kicked back and relaxed in our hotel. Alright, so now we're on day 5 in Sevilla. Sevilla is stacked with must-see spots, but if I only had one spot that I could visit, it would be the Real Alcazar. Before we even entered, I was blown away by the massive north wall. I have never seen a defensive wall with stones this large. And it's an in-your-face reminder of the origins of the Alcazar as an Islamic fortress that was built over 1,000 years ago. Inside, it transforms into an immaculate palace with carved ceilings, ancient calligraphy, and golden domes. The opulence continues with expansive gardens, and by the way, these are the water gardens of Dorn.
Then we are lucky the whole country does not decide.
Did you get it? When we were done with the Alcazar, we walked to what's arguably the most ambient street in Sevilla, Mateos Gago. It's lined with tapas bars, historic facades, and those classic Sevillan orange trees. After lunch, we went to the Sevilla Cathedral, the largest Gothic cathedral in the world. The gold altarpiece in the center is also the largest in the world. But wait, there's more. The cathedral also houses the tomb of Christopher Columbus. And just when we thought it couldn't get any better, we climbed to the top of the Giralda Tower. From there, we were able to see the cathedral's flying buttresses and the domes that you would never see from the street. and the views stretch across the entire city. It was pretty awesome. So there was no way we were gonna go to Sevilla without seeing flamenco. So after dinner, it felt pretty good to go ahead and get off of our feet and enjoy a flamenco performance. After that, we went back to the hotel and relaxed. And by the way, I'll give you a quick review of all the hotels we stayed at the end of this video. Alright, so it's already day 6. We started out the morning exploring the Barrio Santa Cruz. This ancient neighborhood could easily be the most charming neighborhood in Sevilla. It has narrow alleyways, orange trees, secret plazas, and tapas bars. After a leisurely breakfast, we visited the most iconic place in all of Spain, the Plaza de España. It was built for the 1929 Ibero-American Exposition, and it has 4 really ornate bridges that represent Spain's ancient kingdoms. It has 52 tiled alcoves that showcase Spain's different provinces. The Plaza de España was also the filming location for a popular movie.
Well, you, sir, thought you did a good job.
Do you know what it is? I'm not gonna tell. Unfortunately, our fun for day 6 was over. But if we had more time, we would check out the Triana neighborhood. We would stroll through the Maria Luisa Park. And then we would check out the modern architecture of the Metropole Parasol and enjoy the city views from the top. After the Plaza de España, we grabbed our bags and jumped on a train going to Madrid. Alright, day 7, our last full day in Spain. But we didn't spend it in Madrid. Nope. Instead, we did a day trip to Segovia. It's an easy 30 minutes from Madrid, but it feels like another world entirely. The entire old town and its Roman aqueduct is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And our first stop was the Roman aqueduct. It's the most jaw-dropping thing I've seen in Spain. And here's the part that totally melts my brain. It was built with no mortar. It's just 25,000 granite blocks held together with precision cuts and gravity. And after 2,000 years, it's still there. And it's one of the best preserved Roman aqueducts in the world. Next, we enjoyed walking through time in the old town. We were on our way to a 12th century castle, the Alcazar of Segovia. People say it inspired Disney's Cinderella Castle, but I've heard that about other places too. But inside, you'll see Mudejar ceilings, stained glass, suits of armor, and my favorite creepy painting. Would you put it in your living room? I'd put it in mine. Outside of the castle, we enjoyed the castle ramparts, the views of the countryside, and this really cool corridor leading to a Rapunzel-like tower. As we left the castle, we were greeted with the most incredible sunset. It was fantastic. After Segovia, we took a train to Madrid, slept, and then we got a lucky upgrade in business class on the way home. Alright, so here's the deal. Knowing what we know now, we definitely change this itinerary. Honestly, we wouldn't go to Malaga. We wanted to see coastal Spain, but Malaga is very commercialized. The town is full of tourist restaurants, tourist-centric shops, and tacky souvenir markets all selling the same stuff. And it's 100% at the expense of authentic Spanish charm. We would prefer a destination with a more traditional, old-world Spanish vibe, like Granada. But if you do go to Malaga, I would totally skip the harbor and spend your time somewhere else. It's full of chain restaurants and stores that you can see anywhere, and I bet it's probably nuts when cruise ships are docked there. Plus the view is ruined by all that industrial stuff. And look, I'm sure Malaga is a fantastic place to live, but as a tourist with limited time, I'd be fine skipping it. Here's what else we'd change with this itinerary. Instead of staying a night in Madrid and then going to Ronda as a day trip, we'd rather just spend the night in Ronda and go to Madrid the next day. Alright, I'll quickly go over the hotels. In Malaga, we stayed at the Croma Malaga. It was clean, comfortable, and it was in a central location, but the view from the balcony was pretty ugly. Our hotel in Cordoba was a Eurostar's Conquistador, and it could not have been in a better location. Right across the street from the Mosque-Cathedral, and it's within walking distance to everything. It had a living room with a dining table, and it had 2 balconies overlooking the beautiful courtyard. I can't say enough good things about our hotel in Sevilla. It's the El Rey Moro Hotel, and it's located in the heart of the Barrio Santa Cruz. We had a traditional hacienda-style room with exposed beams and heavy rustic furniture with a handcrafted feel. It had a cool view of the narrow alleys, a jetted tub, and a spacious bathroom with a large shower. And in Madrid, I don't even remember what hotel we stayed in. It was just a place to sleep. Alright, I didn't want this to be a 40-minute video, so I went over everything really fast. But if you want the full details of each place, check out the Spain playlist. And if you want to support a small channel, smash the like button and subscribe. That would be awesome. I'll see you in the next video.